Welcome to my reflective video on character, place and simulation Folio 1. I am Jade and I will discuss about my weekly work in CPS in this video. In response to the theme of observation, I drew a sound map by observing the voice record of me walking back home during the night time, using dark blue themed color pencil to depict the darkness of night and also things that make sound while I was walking through. During the night I was walking home alone. I hardly see my surroundings in dark, so I observed the sound of my surrounding and try to imagine how they look like by sketching and putting them into the map. At last I combined the map drawing with the soundtrack and made a walkthrough road in Premiere Pro. Similar work has been produced by Janet Cardiff, whose collaboration work with George Burns-Miller Night Walk for Edinburgh in 2019 explores this theme by creating an immersive guide tour of walking through a specific location using her pre-recorded video and audio to narrate a story. In response to the theme of tinkering, I drew a short animation showing a guinea pig transforming into a bus by using the sound record of a bus matching with the video of my guinea pig. Again, I used sound records in my work, but this time I try to match my imagination through the sound with a real thing in my life, which is my guinea pig. To tinker it, I changed a few soundtrack while matching. Lastly, I picked a bus engine record and tinker it with the image of my guinea pig. By picturing the transformation of guinea pig into a bus, I also show the tinkering process of the guinea pig itself. Similar work has been produced by Bill Plimpton, whose traditional 2D animation Your Face in 1987, showing different dramatic transition of faces and shapes following the melody of music sung by the character. Moreover, I found a highly similar work called Pui Pui the Mocha, a stop-motion animation about guinea pig vehicles. In response to the theme of found object, I found a random trash from the street, and I made a news report video from the ant's perspective by using the image of rubbish adding illustration of injured ants to show an unfortunate accident caused by human, as the picture of the rubbish in the wrong place tells its history of being thrown by human, and this made me link to the perspective of the smaller creatures like ants and insects facing a huge falling object when they're passing through the place. This led me to draw out the accident scene of the ants being hit by the fallen rubbish and made a news report from their perspective to make this incident more relatable with humans' perspective. Similar work has been produced by Robert Hanses. He designed two thumb-sized 2D animated characters into real-life scene. Robert and Nestor are the best friends. He using the character chemistry to connect with the real-life situation, which creates a fun approaching of multimedia design. In response to the theme of discussion of place, I made a projection of bird droppings all over my living space using a bird poo illustration with transparent background and a mini projector. Initially, I tried making litters as a living place for street animals. However, I found the idea of illustrating it was cliché and boring, so I began to brainstorm. I found an interesting way to switch the perspective between human and the nature, which was using my projector to project the bird droppings on my living space, showing how unsuitable of the place as a subject could worsen the feeling of living with it. Similar work has been produced by Jenny Hauser, whose work New York 2020 projected massive transcription of George Floyd's last word on building's wall. Her folio focused on massive word projections by projecting text onto buildings and landscapes to make people reconsider public spaces and societal issues. Finally, in response to the theme of object-oriented ontology, I made a looping animation of the sun setting or rising using traditional 2D animation techniques. At first, my intention is to draw the tiny movement of our fine hair using the movement to link with everything in this universe. But I failed to show the triple O theme in my storyboard, so I tried again. While the linear of the fine hair reminds me of the sea horizon, I started again drawing a plain straight line in the canvas. Subconsciously, I drew the sun as a reference object to the horizon, and things changed. My attention slowly shifted onto drawing the movement of the sun setting. By time, I cleared my mind away from O and stuff, thus the whole animation created naturally following its own rule. It's no longer only setting or rising, it just exists with a strong presence apart from humans' perceptions. Similar work has been produced by John Whitney, whose work catalog in 1961 explored this theme by using geometric shapes such as circles and lines in the mathematical motion to reveal the universe's inherent mathematical rhythms, freeing objects from human narrative. Also, I found the work Brilliant Noise in 2006 produced by Semiconductor. They used raw solar data to create animations where the sun speaks for itself. Over 5 weeks in CPS class, the most engaging theme for me was triple O. as the task of separating human perception from objects was extremely challenging. At times, I felt I understood the concept, but a single doubt could twist everything. Yet these doubts taught me a completely new way of seeing the world and inspired me to reflect on my past creations. While working on Sun, I subconsciously followed the OOO theme without overthinking it, and the result turned out just right, as if the sun itself decided how it should move. This animation experience felt unique compared to my past work because everything flowed naturally once I stopped forcing connections to OOO or other concepts. Additionally, I applied my Big Three concepts and news report to my Studio One Folio One project. Like the fount of rubbish made me reflect on its causes and effects, leading to the question to what end. This sparked my interactive installation idea. In the installation, rubbish became a physical prompt. I drew the ants erection in stages, and the prototype included these assets and a projector. Players have to observe sounds and the environment, with the core interaction being humans helping move physical objects to assist the virtual ants. At the same time, the ants, after suffering the accident caused by human, must continue their journey to bury the dead, aided by players. It was wonderful that this whole project was inspired from the found objects theme.